Where the bloomin' heck have I been? Taking a chill pill, which I will do in a few weeks' time, by the way. I'm slowly sinking into despair, if not already, because I have been unemployed for a number of years in and out of work, and it's tough on the soul, and it's tough on the mind, and it's tough on my motivation in life. But then I realized, listen, it is somewhat humbling when people across the world face this. And it is somewhat of a symptom of sort of like a fake, meritocratic society. When in reality, some of it is like, it's not the harder you work, the more you earn. Because reality is the hardest people. I don't like naming names, but if necessary, I will. They work a lot. People work, particularly in retail and hospitality. Like, it's a lot to deal with when you're customer-centric focused. And you have millionaires and billionaires, I'm sounding like Bernie Sanders. And so I do feel some solace in the fact that people feel the same way, and, it doesn't mean they're lacking. But that doesn't answer the question, where the heck have I been? But this week, and I will compensate, I'll try to do more poems within this time frame. This week is week 11, 10. I will catch up. And I picked The Horse Fell Off the Poem by Mahmoud Darwish. Now, this is a translation, and let's get into it. The Horse Fell Off the Poem by Mahmoud Darwish. The horse fell off the poem, and the Galilean women were wet, with butterflies and dew, dancing above chrysanthemum. The two absent ones, you and I are the two absent ones, a pair of white doves chatting on the branches of a home oak. No love, but I love ancient love poems that guard the sick moon from smoke. I attack and retreat like the violins and quatrains. I get far from my time when I am near the topography of place. There is no margin in modern language left to celebrate what we love, because all that will be was. The horse fell bloodied with my poem, and I fell bloodied with the horse's blood. Right, so from what I've read, he was basically a resident in Galilee, which is, I'm just reading off the biography of on the Poetry Foundation, which is a small village in that was initially Palestine, but Israel occupied it. And so it's interesting giving that knowledge, because at first it was quite cryptic, in my opinion, what the poem meant. But then I realized, okay, listen, the horse fell off the poem. Who's the horse? Who's the horse? Towards the end, I felt bloodied with the horse's blood. Now, is that literal? Not in terms of the horse. The horse is obviously metaphorical, but is the blood representing the war between different factions of that area as well, Palestine? And he was exiled in Beirut and somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken. Now, again, this is a translation, so, I mean, of course, it's never going to be word for word. But it's interesting when he says, the two absent ones. You and I are the two absent ones. I somewhat like these cryptic stuff because it's... I'm trying to recently read... I've read Picture of Dorian Gray, and he was initially one of my favourite novel authors, which he was more for his poems, to be honest. But I want to read his letter, De Profundis. De Profundis. It's a love letter he wrote when he was in prison or something. And the language and eloquence is amazing. And likewise this, the two absent ones, you and I are the two absent ones. I don't know what that's referencing. If anyone knows, please give me some idea. Interesting. There is no margin in modern language left to celebrate what we love, because all that will be was. Is that in reference to the past, all that will be was? Or is that in terms of there's nothing to love because everything is eroding, either language or area, land? Yeah. Oh, and I attack and retreat like a violin in quatrains, the violin strings. Now, that has slightly more of an explicit war reference. And that is somewhat like war is. You have an offensive, you have a defense, and sometimes it's not entirely black and white, right? And I'm not even going to get into the whole whatever, because I'm not even informed enough, because I don't even know where to start in terms of the whole conflict. I really want to, because it's important for geopolitics. It's important to learn about human rights. It's important to learn just as a person, but also international relations and trade and everything. But yeah, attack and retreat, war reference, and it's interesting because he's using a lot of animal reference, a lot of music, a lot of language, a lot of love, and yet war and blood is used to contrast that, and that is the reality. That is almost, I think currently Sudan is almost having like an internal civil war, which is odd because it's Ramadan and they're predominantly a Muslim place, so if I remember, and they had for a really short ceasefire. They plan to for a day today or the next couple days, but then they're gonna resume if not already. It's bizarre. Right, that's it. I will do a much more thorough thing, but I just honestly, I think subliminally the reason why I don't do it as often is because I don't live on my own. Right now, no one's here apart from me. So I find it very difficult to be motivated when I want to speak my mind, but I don't really feel comfortable. Well, not even comfortable. I do feel comfortable like voicing my opinion even if people don't like it, but like I don't feel internally inspired and motivated when I'm like surrounded by other people, and you kind of have to respect the noise and whatnot. I just feel kind of like I have so much potential to craft stuff, but I just feel somewhat trapped because, and no one's harming me. This is all internal. This is all me. It's like my room is full of books. You would think it's, and I have a nice little small desk. You would think it encourages me. I just can't. Like I really do like studying, learning outside of home. When I'm home, I just don't feel motivated, and it's very hard. So yeah, hopefully I stick to this, and I do promise to do 52 poems for 52 weeks. Yeah, peace.